I'm guilty of looking busy, working multiple hours, strategizing, learning, and trying to juggle multiple things at once without making any tangible progress at all. If you felt the same, then stick around because in this video, we're going to uncover when we are pretending to be busy versus when we're actually getting work done. So let's dive in. Hi guys, I'm Raheel. I'm an entrepreneur and a product leader currently living and working in Dubai. We all love filling our calendars. We all love planning. We all love strategizing. We all love debating the pros and cons of a single plan that we're making just to find ourselves back at square one and not making any progress at all. And ultimately, we find ourselves back at square one where we started off 6 months ago. This is us in the state of motion. And this is a state in which we are doing tons of stuff, but no result is being generated. Instead, where we want to be is in the state of action. And the state of action is a set of behaviors that we do that directly produces results. Now, let's look at some of the examples. Let's say you have a customer coming in, and if you're only having conversation with those customers, that's you in motion. But if you're actually convincing them to buy your product and convert them into a paying customer, that's you in the state of action. If you have 10 content ideas to write about and you're consistently planning what to write, what I can, doing research and everything for a prolonged period of time, that's you in the state of motion. But if you actually write and publish, that's you in the state of action. If you're creating training regimens, figuring out what exercises to do in the gym, what to eat, that's you in the state of motion. But if you actually go to the gym, follow a workout plan, put the reps in, that's you in the state of action. Now, don't get me wrong, motion isn't always bad. In fact, I believe that motion is the prerequisite for action. But a prolonged period in the state of motion will never produce any result. Only being in the state of action produces results. Now, the question is, why do smart people like the viewers themselves fall into this trap over and over again? Let's figure out why. Now, I've discovered that the real reason why people love to stay in the state of motion has to do with the pleasure and pain signals within our brain. When we are in the state of motion, we are planning, we're thinking about stuff, we're researching, and metaphorically speaking, we are preparing for battle. It is the absence of real pain. Because being in the state of motion gives us this false sense of security and false sense that we are making progress in the right direction without ever getting tangible results. But going into battle, now that's a tough one. Calling and convincing customers to pay, going to the gym every single day, writing and publishing articles every single week, showing up for work on time. Now that is real pain. Another reason that I've found that people love to stay in the state of motion is the fear of criticism and failure. Like, imagine this scenario that you really want to start a new business. Now you'll start planning that what sort of a business it should be, who's my target customer, what product should I sell. But one of the biggest reasons why you're unable to just get started with it is, I'm going to get criticized by my friends. What will my parents think? What if I fail? What will happen to my social status? And all of these things are legit fears, but they actually stop us from making real progress. The problem with motion is when it turns into procrastination, it becomes this prolonged state in which we are doing a lot of stuff, we're spending a lot of time, but we're not generating actual results. And that is where this becomes a massive, massive problem. So now the question is, how do we optimize our lives to remain in the state of action for longer and reduce our time in the state of motion? Let's find that out. So here's a strategy that has worked for me. It's built on 3 core principles. Number 1, always start with KPIs and your North Star metrics. So numbers do not lie. So you can definitely rely on them. So for example, you want to start a company. Your goal is $20,000 in monthly recurring revenue in the next 5 months. And assuming that you charge $2,000 per month for your service, you need 10 paying clients. And since your goal is to get it done within the next 5 months, you actually need 2 new customers every single month to hit your target. Now, once your KPIs are defined and you have a path towards success, now you know what actions to take to get there. Once your KPIs are in order, the next step is to build a schedule around your North metrics and give yourself hard deadlines. So, in our previous example, you had to get 1 new customer every 2 weeks to hit your goal of $20,000 in monthly recurring revenue. In my case, I have to publish an article every Wednesday after work. I cannot miss it. I have a schedule in place. And what I do is I take that piece of content and I repurpose it for my YouTube video on Saturday, like I'm doing right now. And it's part of my routine. As I have to go to the gym, my schedule is on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and then over the weekends, I have to go to the gym. In this state, I am not planning anything. I am just in the state of action. And since I've given myself hard deadlines to achieve the goals that I want to get, so for example, my goal for gym is to reduce 5 kgs in the next 10 months, which means I have to lose 1 kg every 2 months. And the next step that I'm going to share with you actually helps me stay accountable. Now let's talk about accountability, which is the most important pillar of them all. Because once you're in the state of action, it's actually very easy to get carried away. You need course correction, and this is where accountability plays a vital role in keeping you focused on the right thing. So for example, every Sunday I write a weekly snapshot in which I talk about my learnings of the week. I talk about my wins, I talk about my challenges, I talk about my learnings, I talk about what book I'm reading and my YouTube video. That is my way of keeping myself accountable because I get an opportunity to sit down to reflect back on the week, see what I did right, see what I did wrong, and then course correct to start the next week really focused on the right path. Because without accountability, we're just lost sailors in the sea. Congratulations for making this far. You must really care about focusing on doing stuff that actually matters. In our journey to achieve our goals, we often get stuck in this planning and thinking and researching phase, which often feels a lot like progress, but it doesn't yield any solid results. Instead, we have to optimize our lives to be in the state of action. And so let's recap our strategy. Number one, set hard KPIs that can actually help you figure out what your goal is that you want to achieve. Number two, build a schedule and give yourself deadlines to how you're going to achieve that goal. And then third, you need to have an accountability system so that you can reflect on your past behaviors and figure out what you did right, what you did wrong, so that you can stay on the right track. You have to remember, actions produce results. Motion does not. Good luck.